Hello students, we will continue our presentation and we will go on to places to live part 3. And just to recap, last time I was showing you the two main developments that as we step into the 21st century with regard to houses. There was one, an exploration of postmodern architecture, and there was a research on the development of modernist architecture. So basically they were developed in parallel, but the one main idea that came out is that of Neo-Modernism or new modern design. This Neo-Modernism was a reaction against the complexity of postmodernism and neo-eclecticism. Many basic characteristics of 20th century modernism were still there in it. It also rejected ornamentation and attempts to imitate the past as modernism had done. It was functional, it was sober in its aesthetic, monolithic in its volume with great simplicity. It continues modernism as the dominant architectural form in the 20th, even in the 21st century. So in Neo-Modernism, this is a new stage of modernism with few additions. Additions like factors of energy efficiency, green building, sustainability, new materials and technology, and also sometimes a little more or more radicalization of the form itself. So I had given you the comparison, Kaufmann House by Neutra 1947 to this very similar house to the Kaufmann House, the house in Monasterio, Spain by Ramon Esteve, and several houses that I showed you last time. I tried to draw this comparison of 21st century neo-modern house with modernist houses of the 20th century and how they relate, how they get inspired by them. This is one such example. You can draw many such comparisons if you carry out your own personal study about the houses of the 21st century. So let us come to the Japanese architectural contribution beginning with Shigeru Ban. Of course, we will not be able to look at all the Japanese architects who have contributed, but a few and their contribution. Shigeru Ban, his key ideas and works, he is known as the paper architect, uses paper tubes, cardboard, fabric and recycled materials. He designs light, flexible and sustainable buildings, often replacing heavy walls with movable and temporary elements. His famous projects are these paper tube emergency shelters for refugees and earthquake victims, the wall-less house in 1997, we look at that, the cardboard cathedral in New Zealand, and the Centre Pompidou Metz in France in 2010, a large cultural building under this flowing roof by Shigeru Ban. This is the wall-less house by Shigeru Ban, and you find here the concept of the universal floor that you see here. This is also based on the traditional Japanese homes with free-flowing spaces, collapsible partitions, all they can be opened up and can become one single universal floor. There is a sense of lightness, natural light and air, and the concept, like I said, of the universal floor. So this idea was also there in the works of Mies when he talked about the universal floor or the universal space, column free, open plan, infinitely adaptable to changing use, where the structure, that is the steel frame, and the services, the utilities cores, all pushed to the edges and the inside space becomes completely uninterrupted space. The occupant defines the function and use of the space over time. It can go on having variable uses. This is the Crown Hall and this is the new National Gallery by Mies van der Rohe. Then there are many such glass boxes with this kind of an open plan or open spaces. There is the Farnsworth House. We saw the Blas House in Spain by Kemper Beza. This is the Glass Pavilion by Steve Herman in 2010, or the Glass House by Philip Johnson, the house in Karuizawa in Japan by Kiyosaki Architects in 2008. Across the spectrum, across time from the 1950s to the 2010, 2008, across different nations from Japan to the United States to Spain, and across different architects, the same idea of a completely free-flowing glass box is evident. And even here, in many more projects, like the Glass House in the Netherlands by Meccano Architects, the Mirror Houses in Italy by Peter Pichler, the Casa Bibi in Chile, the Villa Kogelhof in Netherlands, the Casa del Infinito again by Alberto Campobeza in Spain. So you can see the span, you can see the number of countries, the time period stretched out from 20th to 21st century, and the number of architects who are all conceptually designing the same fundamental space, a glass box with a free flowing interior inside it. So coming back to the wall-less house, which is even more free flowing, there are no solid walls to enclose the rooms, there are only a flat concrete roof which is supported on 4 columns. The living space is completely open to the outside as if you are living under an umbrella or a pavilion. The privacy and enclosure is not by walls but by lightweight sliding curtains or a lightweight sliding panels like you would find in a Japanese house. Therefore, the space can change, it is flexible and minimal, so similar to the idea of Mises' universal space. Then we come to the paper house by Shigeru Ban. One more thing I like to recall here is that this house is so very close to the idea of the Japanese house. The same idea of lightweight panels, dividing spaces, they can open up, can become one single space. The same idea has been implemented in the wall-less house. Then when we come to the paper house, it's a very radically simple plan, defines flexible interior space adapted to the Japanese lifestyle. Only the bathroom is separated from the free plan open interior space that you find here. Only the washroom area is separated and the bathing area is separated, and he uses paper tube, which was an innovative concept of Shigeru Ban. So the entire house is erected using these paper tubes. And we come to the naked house by Shigeru Ban in 2000. Again he is very innovative, questioning innovative in not only on several different fronts, It is innovative with regard to material. It is innovative with regard to the very concept of what a 21st century house should be. So it is questioning the very identity of a house in the 21st century, attempts to redefine the limits of architecture. It is inspired by local materials and agriculture architecture. By agricultural architecture I mean the material employed. This was a packing material used in the agricultural district. So he employed that packing material for fruits, basically extruded polyethylene in the skin of this shed. This is the skin of this shed. So the house shed resembles a greenhouse to some extent. In this house, one unique large space of 2-story house height has been created and 4 personal rooms which can move on casters or wheels is kept inside. So these are actually, I should put it in inverted commas, these are rooms. This is again the concept of the universal space, and the concept of the universal space has been so radical here. We used to have a free flowing interior with certain rooms in their fixed places. We went on to Philip Johnson and to Farnsworth House by Mies van der Rohe. The whole house is one, but there are certain fixed area like the washroom, etc. Here also the whole house, even the rooms are movable. The fixed points remain, for example the kitchen unit and the washroom space. Only that is fixed. Rest all is movable. Rooms are also movable. Shed-like design with movable bedroom units. The actual bedrooms are made of brown paper honeycomb panels set in wooden frames. I am giving you these details to tell you how innovatively Shigeru Ban is using materials also. And he continues to work with paper, continues to work with wood. The bathrooms, kitchen and laundry areas are in fixed locations separated from the rest of the house, and they can be separated by these curtains. The room, so to speak, can be rolled into any location of the house, even outside the limits of the house. So here you find these 3 plans showing you how the rooms are arranged, and of course there are other ways to arrange them. They can be randomly arranged with a couple of them outside the house, or they can be arranged linearly like this, or they can come together as one single unit like this. So while the whole is on wheels, each unit measuring 6 square meters. The outer walls are of corrugated plastic sheets, the inner wall is of nylon fabric, and both are fixed to this wooden frame. There is insulation of these plastic bags filled with polythene which are placed in between, and thus this diffuse light filters into the house. These flexible rooms can be moved around depending on use. Expandable space, you can have the sliding doors removed of the house and join them together into one larger room, or take them outside the house and thus leave the entire inside space free. The children can use the extra play space on top of these rooms for play, and Shigeru Ban's vision was to create a very enjoyable and flexible way of living. So he came up with a completely radical idea of what a house could be in the 21st century. All these examples that I showed you of Shigeru Ban are primarily concepts, they are experimental. And then we have the curtain wall house, again by Shigeru Ban, again a concept in 1995. Like we call in any facade curtain wall, what we mean is that here is this non-load bearing facade that is made of glass and maybe some other materials, but this facade is non-load bearing and we name it curtain wall. Shigeru Ban took that term literally and converted the facade into curtains, that it is a wall of curtains. There is just an actual curtain as the facade wall, as for example you see here. This is the curtain opened, this is the curtain closed. So that was a limitation of the curtain wall, and the limitation is that once you have the glass facade, it remains usually closed. But here in this literal curtain wall, you can literally completely open it up also. Now the new interpretations of traditional Japanese styles we find here, the curtain as the architectural elements, as the Japanese refer to traditional elements like the shoji screen or the fusuma doors in traditional Japanese architecture. The curtain hangs 2 stories, framing the indoor loggia and revealing a picturesque this outdoor patio when the curtain is pulled back. So behind the curtain there are these sliding glass wall panels which work with the curtain to create an insulated and a private interior. Then moving on from Shigeru Ban, we come to one example in a house in Fukaya by Waro Kishi in 2001. This house is surrounded by monotonous semi-urban areas, and I would like to relate to other earlier projects where similar outer conditions prevailed. Thus this house, because of these conditions, became an inward looking house. It has a closed attitude towards its surroundings, and so all that you see is towards the inside of the house, and there is an inner court in the house. This same concept we find in Wright's work of the Larkin Building, Unity Temple and in Johnson Wax. We find in the Larkin Building, it was in an industrial district, there was nothing to see. Wright literally made the building inward looking. In Johnson Wax, in an urban area, he provided just a string of skylights at the top and light coming in from the roof through these Pyrex tubes, and here again there is no view outside inward looking, so is the Unity Temple. This is the Pyrex tubes of the Johnson Wax Tower, so you do not get a clear view of the outside, the building is inner looking. Same concept has been applied earlier by Wright. A steel frame, the house is set on 343 square meters with this building area this much and an area of 189 square meters. There are no windows on at least 2 walls, and there are very limited windows on the remaining other walls. So in these 2 walls there are no windows at all. There are fenestrations on this and this wall. The house is closed, inward looking, creating a very private, quiet space. And like glass walls and transparency of modernism, therefore there is a reinterpretation taking place here. This is thus an example of Neo-Modernism, which though modernist brings about certain changes to meet this current requirement. The harmony is created in spaces with both Western modernism along with Japanese tradition. So instead of just calling it Neo-Modernism, can we actually call it critical regionalism? That it is an identity, modern identity with the local Japanese identity. It is a house does not use warm materials to blend in, but uses these sharp white geometry and make the interior very bold and stark, and this reminds me directly of the works of Richard Maya. The house is designed around timeless symbols that are very important for Japanese lifestyle: air, water and light. He uses the courtyard pool, this pool that is there in the courtyard, you see it here, you see it in all these pictures. He uses this pool and filtered sunlight as elements of architecture. Thus, this water, light and spaces are valued in traditional Japanese homes as contemplative elements, and they promote serenity. So, this concept is evident in this house. This has got a counter-intuitive design strategy by making it this inward looking plan in a monotonous surrounding like the Larkin building, excluding the outside chaos and indifference and bringing in order and serenity towards the inside of the house. This is another example of the interiors, the plan. And then similar idea of bringing in light and water and air into the house is the Azuma house in Japan by Tadao Ando in 1976, made in exposed concrete with these fine holes in it. Like this is fine finished concrete, a carry on from brutalism like the works of Le Corbusier, which actually were raw finished concrete. So in the Uzuma house there is one bedroom, one bathroom house on a very narrow lot in an urban row house neighborhood. Attempts to restore the traditional model of the Japanese house using modern vocabulary in addition to providing light and serving as a focal point of family life. It's a 65 square meter, very limited space, so true for so many Japanese houses on a very small 57 square meter plot. The house is very narrow and long, and its only living room opening to the public street with this setback doorway that you find here. The central courtyard has access to both light and air. The ground floor has the kitchen, the dining, the bathroom, and this is on the rear one-third of the house. The rear one-third of the house you find these facilities. There is a living room once you come in from the recessed doorway, and then there is a narrow staircase going up to a bridge, and through the bridge you are connected to two spaces, one on either side of the central courtyard. One is the bedroom and the other is the study. So this is what it is. Small courtyard becomes has a spatial entity and attempts to compensate for the reduced physical space within the house. The pictures of the rooms above, the central bridge connecting the two rooms, the space flanking an inner courtyard, and an attempt to bring in light, air and rain as we saw in the house in Fukaya by Maro Kishi, and other natural elements to fit into the Japanese lifestyle. Then we come to another very small experiment house by Tadao Ando called the 4x4 house. There are two blocks, the 4x4 house 1 and 2, both made at two different times, one in 1994, the other in 2003. Here this 4-story tower of 4x4 grid, it is set on a beachfront site of 65 square meters. The overall building footprint is 23 square meters, and the total floor area putting all these floors together is 118 square meters in each of these units. This is the pictures of the 4x4 house. These are the two blocks standing next to each other, and on the ground the first level, the entrance space and bathroom. If you see the plan here, the first level we have the entrance space, we have the washroom. On the second level, this one, you have the bedroom. On the third level you have the study. On the fourth level, right at the top, you have the living room and the kitchen. The top level has the same grid as the remaining house, that is 4x4, but the entire volume is slightly shifted. It is slightly shifted 1 meter towards the sea with respect to the lower levels, and thus the monotony of a single cuboidal block is radically broken as you see here. and also there is light filtering in through and through at the top floor from both sides, and also here at the third level. Coming to the Mobius house in the Netherlands by UN Studio and Ben van Berkel in 1997, based on the Mobius strip, which is a loop with a half twist so that the inside and the outside intertwine. Here there is a renewal of architectural language. House is not just rooms but a continuous spatial journey is how they have made it. There is a fluid circulation path that weaves through all the various functions of the house: sleeping, work, playing, socializing and the daily activities. And the house is planned as a continuous loop of daily life where work, family, rest spaces are all connected in one flowing experience. It is called Mobius based on the mathematical Mobius strip, as the design also blurs between the inside and the outside. There is no clear beginning or end of the circulation. It is made of concrete and glass and creates a sense of transparency. There are folding surfaces, strong relationship with the landscape, and the way the views are framed, it opens to light, connects indoor with the outdoor. This is the connection of the inside with the outside as you see in these pictures. So this house required the earlier form of digital or 3D modeling tools employed in the design process. So along with hand sketches, the computational tools were also used to design it. This is the model study, and then we come to another house, Maison de Bourdieu by Rem Koolhaas. All these examples that we are showing, I am focusing on Neo-Modernism, but I am showing you these all houses are modernism plus something. Modernism plus innovative materials, Shigeru Ban. Modernism plus innovative concepts, Shigeru Ban. Modernism plus inward looking house, even bringing in the Japanese lifestyle into it, the house in Fukaya. Modernism plus small experimental unit design by Tadao Ando and the amazing experiments that he has carried out in small spaces. Modernism plus the mathematical concept of a Mobius strip and how complex space it has made. In this house, it is modernism plus designing the house for inclusivity. This house, the client had an accident, he was a paraplegic, and the house was so designed so that he will have full access to all levels of the house. The house integrates accessibility as its core design principle. Three contrasting levels. The lower level is half carved into the hill. If you look at the plan, it is carved into the hill and it is intimate and enclosed. It has the kitchen, the television room, and it leads to the courtyard. So it is this level we are talking about. The middle level is an open space which has the living room, which has the panoramic view from the living room, the top floor which is completely opaque with these porthole that you find as fenestrations. There are more private bedrooms, it's like a dark concrete box. These are the plans and the drawings of Maison de Bourdieu. So this one leg is a cylinder, a steel cylinder, includes the circular staircase of the house and it is located off center. Because of this displacement there is an instability created, but the equilibrium is brought back by this ice section beam having this weight hanging on it or this cable being pulled down and thus balancing the instability of the house. The top floor actually rests on three legs. If you see here in this model, there are these two legs here and one leg here. So this is how the overall structural system is organized. This is the top floor with these porthole windows. This is the structural system here. This is the circular steel member, this ice section, and this is weighted down with this cable on this side. The middle floor has uninterrupted view of the surrounding landscape. You can see how transparent it is and what a tremendous view it gives. The effect is intensified with this very highly polished stainless steel, and it makes it disappear into the landscape. The top floor, the bedrooms are in this concrete box. So you see this top floor here. This is the porthole picture, And the most important point which grants accessibility to the client is this elevator platform in the house. It is like an elevator, but it has got a room like platform on top of it, 3 by 3.5 meters, functions as a room connecting all the floors and symbolizing the freedom of movement for the disabled client. It moves up and down through the building, through the house at all floor levels, and in fact there is also wheelchair access on all floor levels. So once he comes out of the platform, wants to move around the floor level, he can move easily through wheelchair, and so the entire system is indispensable to the client. It offers him much more possibilities than the other members of the house, because there are certain areas like the library here, or even the wine cellar is directly accessible to him as he moves on the platform. So the whole house was designed keeping him as the focal point of the design. Thus we find modernism plus inclusivity in this house. The new modernism is a core idea similar to modernist houses, with open plan being expressed in these iconic houses globally, but having, for example, improved materials, improved structural technology, and certain other features added on to them. I'll just quickly run through a few in the ending, a few houses without going into a lot of detail about them, but they are interesting ones. This, you have seen the picture earlier, the house in Leiria in Portugal by Aires Matias. It's a minimalist, stark, white concrete volume that blends the landscape, and the space is organized around light and shadow contrast. Please understand that this white planar geometry idea, or pure white block idea, comes from modernism, where there was white planar geometry. This is a radical form of the same idea. And thus these courtyards are created because the main living space is underground in the basement, and there are these courtyards at different places which bring in light into the lower floors and create openness while maintaining the privacy of the house. It reflects Aries Matias's sculptural and monolithic design style. Please look up his other works to be able to understand how he brings this sculptural and monolithic identity in his houses. This is the floor below and the floor above, so you can see how the house is built. Or the Holman House in Australia by Durbeck Block Architects. It's perched very dramatically on the edge of a cliff and has these curved flowing forms. The concrete base anchors the house to the coastline. The living space opens wide and gives these panoramic sea views all around that level. The shell in Nagano is a futuristic oval shell form made from RCC, designed to resist the region's harsh climate and humidity. It is elevated on minimal supports, and thus it simply appears to float. The interior is a continuous fluid space like inside a shell. This is the views and cut sections of the house. So like I mentioned to you earlier, I am showing you many more examples so that not only we understand how the neo-modernism idea, the idea of how modernism is carried into the 21st century gets solidified, but even more, one more idea is that your architectural vocabulary grows as you see lots and lots of buildings through these slides, like this house, the linear house in Canada by Patcow Architects, again in the 21st century. It's a long narrow house as you see here along following the ridge of the site. There's a balance of wood, glass and steel, creates warmth and lightness in the building, and extensive glazing has been used. Another idea which is obviously coming from modernism, framing views of the landscape and the sea. As you see through and through, you can see the sea views. And then we have the Poli House in Chile, monumental concrete structure standing on a cliff, simple geometric block, almost like a sculpture. Panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean from through the house that dominate the design. It is brutalist in character, but there is a sense of calmness about this house. The Tyler residence in Arizona by Rick Joy in 2000 is made from rammed earth walls that blend into the desert terrain, simple rectangular forms which are rooted in the landscape. The interiors open to courtyards and frame the desert views. So, we have these courts here, and it celebrates natural materials, the climate and the silence of the surrounding environment. The loft cube is actually a portable home that can be placed on a rooftop and does not consume any additional footprint. It is specially meant for urban environments and provides a small, clever solution for housing needs in urban areas. It is very affordable. It is an experimental work priced to be around $55,000. How do I compare it with the regular house, which would be at least $120,000 to $160,000 in that urban area? Can be easily transported to a next rooftop using a helicopter. Thus, the houses of the 21st century, if we want to see the way ahead, they blur the boundaries and merge nature and city with the house. There's sustainability at the core of the house, the idea of passive design, climate responsive design, renewable energy, low carbon materials, water and waste management. There is personalization and adaptability shaped by individual needs, flexibility for work, for leisure and care. There is a return to simplicity, the whole idea of coming back of modernism with minimalism, clarity of form, emphasis on light, on silence. It is global yet local. Universal modern aesthetics are balanced with regional materials, climate response and culture. With the last statement, it also seems that there is a connect between some part of neo-modernism with critical regionalism. And then there is technology embedded in these houses. There are smart homes which are AI assisted, have prefabrication and modularity in them. Of course, there is much more to learn about the houses of today. Examples are too numerous and there are many books written about it. Please do take out time to see more of these houses, because they at a very fundamental level teach us some of the concepts that are coming up, and they might later on appear in other building typologies. Thank you.